Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsvabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Tirthankaro Jagatana Jaivantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jaivantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jaivantavarto Netirthachara Jagama Jaivantavarto Dhruva Namah Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsvabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Ananta Ananta Bhava Vedati Bareli Bali Ananta Ananta Naya Niksepe Vyakhaniche Sakala Jagata Hitakarini Harini Moha Parini Pamadi Moksacharini Pramaniche Upama Apyani Jene Tamara Khavite Vyartha Apavatini Jamati Mapai Me Maniche Aho Raja Chandra Bala Khyalanathi Pamatae Jineswara Tani Vani Jani Tene Jani Che Guru Raj Tani Vani Jani Tene Jani Che Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is October 19, 2020, Monday, and we are continuing our discussion on Atmasiddhi Shastra. In the Atmasiddhi Shastra, we are on the sixth stanza, and hopefully we'll be finishing that sixth stanza today. So without further delay, let me bring this slide so we can start from wherever we were last time. I need to take care of this slide a little bit better. So, okay, all right. So we were, let's quickly recapitulate from the last slide that we had it, and from there we are just going to go from the today's slide. So, enlighten actually this stanza tells us, let's see, 46. Okay, this stanza is telling us that we'll play this slide, this one first. So the essence of this stanza, it says over here that when you do any rituals, or if you have the knowledge, when all those things are only important if it is along with the Atam Jnana, means along with their right faith or experiencing of the soul. Having said that, Srimad Ji knows that this is very rare occurrence to have somebody obtaining right faith. So if you have a million people, maybe one, maybe two can have that. I mean, this is just, it's very rare. That's what I mean. So in that situation, what happens to rest of the people? I do this religious activity. I follow paths shown by the Mahavir, etc. So what happened to me? He says over here, first line he says, only if you have enlightenment or right faith, then and then the rituals and knowledge are important. But if it says that if all these activities are performed with the aim of obtaining right faith, aim of obtaining samyak darshan, then they are also useful. So he does not let us go down. He just holds our hand and says, "Don't get discouraged. You continue, and as long as your aim is very narrow, focus aim, your aim ultimately is to obtain right faith, obtain samyak darshan. If that is the case, then automatically your activities, your knowledge, your reading, etc., will be directed in that directions only. So it will be helpful to you ultimately. That's what he tries to tell us. And thereafter, he just takes it to this present slide where we were last week. So let me quickly go through the slide. And it says, enlightened saint is saying that one must protect the soul from ignorant state. More first and foremost thing, we have to try to prevent our soul getting soiled with this ignorant state. What's the ignorant state? Body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. That kind of attitude, that kind of alien attachment, there is alien attachment per padarth, the objects of the universe. Forget about everything else. The closest alien object, closest the closest thing which is not me is a matter object, and that's a physical body. And so I had that attitude saying that physical body is mine, physical body is mine, physical. That kind of a faith I have towards this physical body, that's called wrong faith. That's called ignorant state. So it says we have to protect our soul from this ignorant state. Take away attention from the physical body and direct it to the soul. This is not going to be easy process, but it's doable. What Srimanji says, that remember, since time infinite, you keep on doing wrong thing. Body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. That kind of attitude, when I was in the lowest form of life, Nigod, that I was taking birth 18 times and dying 18 times in 1 second. That time also I was saying, body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. And now that I'm 5 sense sentient being, body is mine. If this room is, it's very hot, let's put the fan on. Let's put the AC on. Does your soul says, give me AC and fan? It's a physical body's requirement, but I feel hot, I feel warm. That kind of feeling I have. I'm hungry right now, I'm angry right now. All these actions, they are related to the physical body, and I consider that they are mine. I'm tired. Human soul is tired, or physical body is tired? If the soul is tired, going in transmigration, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, non-stop, since time infinite keeps on doing it. Aren't you getting tired of it? You work 5 days non-stop, you need 2 days of break. You work for a whole year and you need 2 weeks of vacation, everything. This soul, doing this tired, this is a wrong feel, a wrong ignorant state. Since time infinite, you don't want to give break to the soul. So enlightened saint says one must protect soul from the ignorant state. Without eligibility and investigating mind, one is not able to understand the nature of the reality. It's very important that one has to be eligible. You know eligibility very well. You are aware of it. Any field of work that you go, are you eligible to do this? You go to the college, do you have high school diploma eligibility? You want to take certain courses, do you have a biology eligibility or computer science? So all those things, eligibility is very important. You want to get this right faith, samyak darshan, do you have to have eligibility to get it? 1 to 4 cents living being, they are not eligible to get a right faith because they do not have those requirements fulfilled. Only 5 cents sentient being can be an eligible person because he has a 5 senses, he has a mind, and he can rationally think positive, I mean good from bad. So you have to have that eligibility. Plus, not only simply eligibility, but you have to have investigating mind. What is this investigating mind? The scriptures are divided into four major categories, four anuyog, four major canons. Storytelling scriptures, pratmanuyog, conduct related scriptures, charnanuyog, karma related scripture and universe related scripture, karnanuyog, and metaphysics, it's called Dravyanuyog. Four sets of scriptures are there. And in each type of canons, there are hundreds and thousands of scriptures are there. Out of which storytelling scripture, conduct related scripture, and the karma related scripture, these three canons, they are called Agna Pradhan, means they are command related. Mahavir said so, that's why it is, so you accept it. Mahavir said that there are 8 types of karma, and universe is so big, and there are 6 substances are there, and all those things, so you accept it. Conduct, the Mahavir said that a monk has to have certain conduct, householder has to have certain conduct. That command I accepted. And the storytelling, they are the stories. From there, I have to get the essence of the story, so I accept it. So these are command related canons. But the fourth one is a metaphysics, Dravyanuyog, hardcore philosophy. There you have to have investigating mind, because now you are on a very, very high level of achieving the Samyak Darshan. You are on that path. Now you have to have investigating mind. Why Mahavir said this way? Does it make sense to me? I have to analyze those facts. I have to investigate that fact. And I have to understand and accept the fact. Don't accept the facts blindly just because somebody is telling. A person has a good oratory skill and he convinces you something. Yes, this guy is right. And then other guy comes and he has a different oratory skill and he convinces you about 180 degree on the opposite side. Whom do you accept? Don't accept blindly. That's what Todarmalji is telling. Todarmalji says in Mokshamat Prakashak, and by the way, that Mokshamat Prakashak is an amazing scripture written by Todarmalji about 250 years back in Jaipur. He died very early age, 34 or 38 years or something like that. And that too, he was extremely brilliant person. And he wrote all the scripture. And he was so brilliant that in the state, where he used to live. The other people had a jealousy, and they went to the king and they said something wrong about Todarmalji. And the king, being the ignorant guy, he listened to those cunning people, and he ordered Todarmalji to be killed by an elephant, to be crushed by elephant. This Todarmalji is so sincere, so brilliant, and so much he had the self-realization and everything. So he accepts those things. He knows that it's a wrong thing, but he is aware of it, that he can't go against the state. So he says in a public place, he's been put into the center, and the elephant is brought in. And the elephant is supposed to crush this Todarmalji. Elephant puts his leg up, and then it stops. Elephant cannot do this work. So Todarmalji says to elephant, hey, listen, don't worry about it. My age determining karma are coming to an end. My life is coming to an end. You are simply an instrumental cause. Don't worry about it. And thereafter he got crushed, he died. But what he wrote down few things in which Mokshma Prakashak, he wrote down. And that is a very powerful scripture. And there is an English translation that you must download and read that one. And it's written in absolute beautiful English. It has been translated by Panditji, and he's a kind of I know him very well. He is a mechanical engineer by his profession, but the very early age he gave up all his work and everything, and now he's entirely on the Jainism path. He's a celibate throughout the life, and his name is Hemchandji Jain, and he has written this Moksha Prakashak. You can download from atmadharma.com, or you can download from vitragvani.com, V-I-T-R-A-G, Vitrag, V-A-N-I.com, vitragvani.com. And you can just download that English book, read that. It's beautiful. One of our Samesar student in New York, in a Wednesday class, he regularly, every day he reads, and he says, and he's born and brought up here in this country, he's an ophthalmologist person, but he is absolutely impressed. So you should just also do the same thing, read that one. Anyway, so what Todarmalji says, that just because Mahavir said, I'm not going to accept it, I'm going to investigate that fact, and I'm going to make sure that I understand that part, and then I'm going to accept it. So for three types of canons, they are command related. You accept the command. But the fourth one, most important, you have to have eligibility, and you have to have investigating mind. Thereafter, once you investigate, understand, because as your knowledge starts widening, horizon becomes larger and larger, wider and wider. You understand those facts. You can reason out for those facts, and now you say, "This is right. I understand it properly." Then you accept it. That means you are on the right path. Nobody can shake you up thereafter. A person with a good oratory skill can speak, but then you just don't get impressed about it because now you understand the facts. So that's what it says about investigating mind. Without right faith, the internal reduced toxic emotions and auspicious inclinations are of no value. You don't have right faith. One does not have right faith, and he does everything. Piousness, he does tons and tons of fasting, etc. He does reading, writing, reciting all the scripture, etc., etc. But when it is not led to the experiencing of the soul, then they are having no values. You give, one gives charity donation, $1,000,000. That means 1 0 that he obtained. He is doing fasting 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, 100. That's another zero maybe he obtained. He does worshipping of the Lord, one more zero. All these zeros can be there, and you can have 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, 100 0. It is total value is zero. So what he says over here, what it says over here, one has to try to obtain number one. One, when you have it, then zero is 10, then another zero is 100, and then values increases by leaps and bounds. So primary aim for a living being obtaining right faith is to make sure he just understands the real nature of right faith and acts accordingly. His aim has to be towards the obtaining right faith only. You have gone through your life career, and you decided certain career in your life. You made that aim. To achieve that aim, you did all kind of things. When I used to study from my exams, etc., I was looking for quietness around me. And I talked to my son. He was doing his board exam, and he used to go to Starbucks to read. Huh, are you nuts? There's so much noise there. He says, well, there's an ambience, sound, and everything, and I just block those things, and we start well, it doesn't make difference how you do it, as long as your aim is to achieve your goal of whatever you are trying to think. So here also, when you have the right faith is your aim, then you can do anything that will be of value to you. Having right faith or the self-effort to achieve one, then renunciation, etc. states are useful to the self. Right faith, one has it, then renunciation, etc. states are absolutely useful. But when you don't have right faith, but your aim is to achieve right faith, then the renunciation has value. That renunciation, etc. states means reading the scripture, charity work, worshiping the Lord, and all those things, they will have meaning to you. Reduction of the toxic emotions, inquisitive mind, straightforward, etc. States are instrumental cause for obtaining right faith. One wants to obtain right faith. One has determined to get the right faith. So on the path to obtain right faith, he may have reduction in his toxic emotion. His anger, deceit, ego, greeds are becoming subsided. He has inquisitive mind. He does not accept anything. He keeps on asking questions. What about this? What about this? What about this? Inquisitive mind to make sure that his understanding is so solid that it does not waver again in his mind. Straightforwardness. He's a very simple person, simple living and high thinking type of person. And all those things are instrumental cause for obtaining right faith. So now, over here, we are going to talk, let me just put this letter away. Okay, here. Now, to achieve the right faith, there are several ways are shown. And Pandit Todarmalji has shown this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 achievements. This type of 5 achievements, one has it, the attainments, then the one obtains the right faith. What are those achievements? What are those attainments? And again, this one you'll be able to read from the 7th chapter of the Mokshamarg Prakasha. And 7th chapter has 4 subdivisions. These are 4th subdivision of that 7th chapter. It's beautifully described, all those things, how one can proceed. I'm a generic person. I want to go obtain the right faith, samyak darshan. What is the process I have to follow? Several processes can be there. This is one of them that he's describing so beautiful. Kshapsham, the five labdhis are there. Kshapsham labdhi, Vishuddhi labdhi, Deshna labdhi, Pragik labdhi, Karan labdhi. These are the Indian names are there. Now that means attainment of rational knowledge, virtue attainment, listening to and grasping of the Jina's preaching, competency of thought activity, and operator attainment. These five types of attainments one obtains one by one by one by one. Then it leads to right faith. So, what is the attainment of rational knowledge? Specific state of destruction comes subsidence of knowledge, obscuring karma, attainment of rational knowledge. Means this is a big name. Specific state of destruction comes subsidence of knowledge, obscuring karma. This is very big name. But in general, one has a capacity to accept knowledge. That's called Kshapsham Labdhi. Who am I? We are five sense sentient human being. I am separate, we are separate from one sense, two sense, three sense, four sense living being. Those living beings, they have very minimal expression of knowledge. If we take the curve from over here, it will go like this, that the 1 to 4 sense, there is little bit increase in the knowledge capacity, but fifth sense sentient being, exponential increase in the knowledge grasping capacity. So just because I'm a human being, just because we are human being, we have that expression of knowledge acceptance is much, much, much better. So that's called Kshapsham Labdhi, means attainment of rational knowledge. I can attain this type of knowledge. Vishuddhi Labdhi means virtue attainment, means feeble state of passions. So what is happening here? You have the knowledge. Let me bring the color over here. You have the knowledge over here. You have sharpness of knowledge. You understand what is true, what is right, what is not right. That kind of a capacity you have it. You are reasoning out what is right, what is not right. That's an expression of knowledge. Then this expression of knowledge leads you to feeble state of toxic emotions. Means anger, deceit, ego, greed becomes less intense. When my anger, deceit, ego, greed are less intense in expression at this time, that means I have a lot more capacity to obtain knowledge. And that's the first one. Kshapsham Labdhi, attainment of rational knowledge. Means when this guy starts going down, when toxic emotions are going down, then my knowledge acceptance capacity keeps on going up. Think about it. If you're angry, one is angry right now, and then I can say, hey, do you know Atmasiddhi by heart? Yeah, I know it. Can you recite right now? And he will not be able to recite because he's in an angry state. When he's in the feeble state of passion, anger, deceit, ego, greeds have subsided a lot. That means his knowledge grabbing capacity has increased a lot. When the feeble state of passions are there, then this knowledge is like a sponge. When the sponge absorbs all the water. Similarly, when my state of mind is a quiet state, a quiet attitude, then my acceptance of knowledge increases a lot. So these two things are inversely proportionate to each other. Higher the knowledge, less toxic emotion. Less toxic emotion, higher grabbing the knowledge. And that's what it is. And you have tried that one. You have understood that one. That, I mean, when you want to concentrate on something, then you want to have a quiet mind and everything. So right now, we are we are aiming to obtain right faith. To start with, I have to have knowledge about the soul structure and function, soul's anatomy and physiology. Being a medical man, I have to bring those words. So 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 anatomy and physiology of the soul, structure and function of the soul to be understood. And when one understands that one properly, that means he knows that my alien attachment, my worldly or attachment to the worldly object has no value. And now last 6 to 7 months, we have experienced that. We are locked up in the house. Sure, you are working from home and everything, but what are your requirements right now? No restaurants going, no plane flying, no vacation going out, just simply staying at home. It doesn't make difference what kind of clothes you are wearing, whether you're in pajama throughout the day and night, who cares about it? So your requirement goes down and you have solitude. And at that time, you have a lot more capacity to grab the knowledge of the soul's anatomy and physiology to be understood. When we understand that physiology and anatomy means I am the soul and everything else is non-soul entity for me. This physical body is not not me. It is mere association of the soul with the physical body. That kind of understanding. So when that knowledge increases, means my state of passions, means toxic emotions keeps on decreasing. So when these two guys are exactly opposite going, and that means I'm getting more and more knowledge or the understanding of the reality of myself. Now when that thing happens, now I'm a pious person. Now my toxic emotions are kind of really, really under control. Then I'm listening to the listening and grasping the Jinnah's preaching. Means the enlightened saint, he gives discourses to me. His discourses are there. Now I'm absorbing them so much because now I am soft natured. My toxic emotions have gone down. My knowledge has gone up. With the knowledge, I understand the nature of the soul and function and structure of the soul. And at that time, my questions, etc., are being doubts are being cleared by the discourses given by the learned saints. So third one is the Deshna Labdi. Kshapsham Labdi, Vishuddhi Labdi, Deshna Labdi means knowledge expression, toxic emotion going down, and now I'm accepting the discourses given by the omniscient Lord or the learned saints. Remember, the learned saints are always there. Rishabdev was there. When Rishabdev's son Bharat listened to Rishabdev, and Bharat obtained right faith, and he just he kept on going further up, and he obtained liberation in the same life. Bharat, Rishabdev had 100 sons and 99 obtained right faith and then liberation. And also Bahubali, the 100th one, he also obtained right faith and obtained nirvana. On the same Rishabdev, the Bharat's son called Marichi, and he was not ready. His knowledge and toxic emotions have not prepared him. So Rishabdev's preaching was not affecting Marichi, the grandson of Rishabdev. And so he ended up in that intense transmigration. Later on, same Marichi is now in the form of a lion. And two Muniraj, they come to jungle, they descend from the sky because they have capacity to walk in the sky. They came down and they give the discourses, and the lion understands the discourses in his own language, and he obtains right faith. So how did what happened? Marichi was when he was human being. And the Rishabdev was Tirthankar, his grandfather. Tirthankar's the preachings were there, but he did not accept because he was not prepared for it. Now he is in the form of lion, less than the human being. Marichi was human, now lion. And instead of Tirthankar Bhagwan, these are two monks giving discourses, and he obtains right faith because he is ready with these two labdhis over here. What did the lion remember? He did not remember six dravyas and nine tattvas and everything. He just realized only one thing. I am the soul. I'm separate from the physical body. That kind of preparation, he had it. And so when Muniraj gives lectures, then he accepts it and he obtains right faith. So the learned saints are always there. They always give us directions and everything. But am I ready to listen to that? That's different story. Now I'm ready to listen to that. That means discourses are always there. Now I'm ready to listen to that. That means it's called Deshna Labdhi. Now, when those three things are done, now I, as a soul, has understood the real nature of soul in detail and structure and function of the soul in detail, and I make the determination of the real nature of the soul. Determination is done all the way up to these three places, three types of attainments. My determination is right over here. Now, competency of thought activity starts. Prayogik labdhi means whatever I learned, whatever I understood, now I just contemplate upon it. Contemplate. I am the soul. I am the eternal soul. I am the pure soul. I am the perfect soul. I don't have attachment with the alien object. I'm not the anger. I'm not the deceit, ego, greed. That kind of contemplation keeps on going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to the living being. And ultimately, it last part comes operator attainment, efficiency attainment of to get engrossed into the soul. Means he goes to primary abstract comprehensive state, and that is called self-realization. So all these things that we saw in a previous slide, what Srimadji says and Todamalji says, similar thing from different angle, different perspective, but same thing. That ultimately your feeble state of passion, knowledge increasing, listening to the discourses of the as learned souls, and then to go on meditative aspect and to attain right faith. So these are the steps one has to go for it to obtain self-realization. And as I said, it is given in that Mokshamarg Prakashak in English language on the seventh chapter, on the fourth sub-chapter of that seventh chapter. Read that. You will have a great understanding how to obtain self-realization. So this is what it is. Having said that, let's go to the next slide and see what it says. Um, Oh, all the whatever I said, they are all given in detail. Kshopsham Labdhi means specific state of destruction, consumption means attainment of rational knowledge. This is what I am getting, rational knowledge. Then, sentient five sense living being has this attainment. He has capacity to think about the nature of reality, and then he is capable of understanding and accepting discourses given by learned saint and also the scriptural message. And there are some of the things are coming. Basically, what we talk similar. There all these things are same slides are there. I just didn't realize that I have all these slides coming, but over here. So ultimately, one obtains right faith by going on this pathway. So this is the way Total Mulji has explained. And it doesn't make difference how you want to go for it, but if he has shown kind of a pathway, he has laid out the pathway for us. And I am right now student of this of Jain philosophy. Why should I not go through the pathway that he is talking from his experiencing of the soul state? So from that kind of thing, when the write-up is done, they have tremendous weight on it. So you will love it. So now, this is also Adhakaran, Takaran. This is also part of the how to get it. So, okay, now this is the some of the five attainments are there, and Srimad Ji, this is what Total Maji said, and Srimad Ji also has given in 38 stanza, 39 stanza, 14, 41 stanza. He talks similar things. When we are coming to those stanza, we are going to refer all these things again, that are how beautifully two different people, two different persons, two different personality, two different area of the country, two different time frame, they come out with the same thing. And when Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami explains, he is another personality. He will explain from his viewpoint and everything, but similar thing will be expressed. Similar thing will be expressed. So we have to understand that part. So over here, we are finishing this stanza over here, and now we are going to go to the next stanza.